not attempt to change the channel of your streaming pleasure. If you do, you will be punished by horrible death. Welcome to the dumpster fire, home of garbage takes and garbage people. Hey, Five, how's it feel for your team to be terrible?
I'm thinking they might belong in the trash bin too.
I don't know, man. Or they give a shot.
I'm just, it gets to the point where you're the whole being glad that football is back wears off about 3 minutes into the game when you realize your team sucks ass.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hold on, we got to get Uche in here. Uche!
What up? Gentlemen.
Dude, I spent today working out in the gym, just repeating in my head, you got to stop with the football. Only 1% make it to the NFL.
Get your mind off that there football. No one will make it. No one will give you a chance if you don't make that 1%.
You need to study, Uche. You need to study. I was just thinking the whole time about what Uche had to put up with growing up, and he made it. He made it to the NFL. So week 1 is done. We had some good games. We had some bad games. We had some bizarre games.
We had games that just took a bunch
of
drugs.
Time to rank them all, because we do this throughout the week, throughout the season, throughout the whole thing. And it's fun for us to just shit on other teams. Now that we have data to operate off of, all the speculation that teams were bad or good are now pretty much becoming a little more solidified. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into it. We got some super chats here before. I know last week we said that 5 would be the cutoff for the supers.
It's early.
It's early, so get your supers in. We'll try to read them all. Bailey Leisure says, R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, one of the goats of comedy. Yes.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I absolutely love Norm Macdonald. I reserve the word inimitable. If you know what inimitable means, it means completely irreplaceable. I reserve that for only a few people, and I think Norm Macdonald is definitely in that category of just one of the greats of comedy. And his relentless pestering of O.J. Simpson will never die in my mind. So just a brilliant comedian as well. And then Bailey also says, Chandler Jones to the Cards front office. Show me the money. Didn't expect the Cards to win, let alone embarrass the Titans, the NFC West and stuff. Yeah, all the teams in the NFC West.
Asses kicked.
Oof. Yeah, it's bad. It looked bad. Taylor Lewan was getting abused.
Oh my God.
He was getting, he was the only lineman.
I always thought he was over. I thought. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm sorry. The only lineman I could argue was worse last week was Alejandro Villanueva. He got taken to lunch.
Oh, dude,
Villanueva didn't he just get to Baltimore?
Yeah, the Ravens. He was right. He was moved to right tackle, but Max Crosby. I mean,
nah, dude. You didn't see Nate Solder just get abused by like a sex traffic victim. Like he was just getting.
Well, Nate Solder's been doing that since he went to the G-Men, so don't worry about that.
Dude. First of all,
Taylor Lewan got ran over by a defensive back. Did you see that clip?
Still not as bad as Nate Solder blocking his own running back, his own halfback. He just turned around like in the still picture. Nate Solder is completely backwards, holding his own running back, and Von Miller is free riding right to Daniel Jones' stupid face.
Look, man, you got to look at that Taylor Lewan clip. I think I got it on my on my Twitter.
On your Twitter,
it was pretty bad, dude.
Let's find
it's pretty bad. It is really bad.
Let's look it up. All right, we got to watch this. Uche. All right. Is it under media? Let's see here.
Yeah, it would be. I quote tweeted.
Let's call it up. You tweeted a lot of stuff, man.
Here, let me tag you on it real quick.
While you're looking that up, let me get to Dodger Zion for $5. Episode 201, North Jersey. Ain't nobody better sleep on them birds. Dude, you played Atlanta. That team sucks.
All right, now check it out.
Don't get your hopes up, Philly.
Oh, here it is. All right, let's share the screen because we got two anyways. All right, there's Taylor. Oh, let me make it big.
Oh, God. What was that?
Oh, my God. What?
Who was that? Was that Buda Baker? No, that's not Buda Baker.
I mean, he went through his chest.
I mean, he was out of position. Like, he's leaning like this. So
he turned his hips. He turned his hips. He opened his hips up and turned to the sideline, which is a cardinal sin.
Bulldozed by anyone like that.
Look at his right leg
inside leg.
No balance. Yeah, no balance. He's tripping himself right here, right? Like
I mean, he messed this up, but you should never look, man. When you have a defensive back rushing you, you don't even need to set. He overset a defensive back? How do you do that? You just do three-step set a defensive back every time because all I have to do is touch him and he's done.
Right,
he's literally done.
Shouldn't his feet be behind him though? Like I don't. Like
his feet should be under him. Like he should be staggered. Look at his body right there, bro. That is not the position you like. A defensive end would literally already have been sacking the quarterback right now. Because look at that space. Look at the lane he's given up. He's given up nothing but a lane to the quarterback. I mean, that's bad, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he blew his knee out last year and shit, but I always thought he was overrated. I never thought he was that good.
It's a rust thing, probably. I mean, a lot of players look bad. Ronnie Stanley looked pretty bad too.
There was some ugly play. Where'd you read here? You got Dodger?
I got Dodger, so you're after Dodge.
All right.
So V-Man 293.
Outsider's opinion, if you take out C-Mac's game on Sunday, do you think the Jets beat the Panthers? Also, who was the best rookie QB week 1? No, I think the Panthers were all over them.
The Jets' offensive line was just
the
Zach Wilson, I am worried about him. I think he's going to die.
I think the best rookie quarterback was Trey Lance in his one pass.
I would say Mac Jones. He was pretty solid.
Yeah, Mac Jones gave his team a chance to win, for sure.
Yeah,
like Lawrence was just set out to die. Wilson was set out to die. Justin Wilson was used as a glorified gadget guy, which is I've got more to say about that later.
Yeah.
And Trey Lance was there for 2 plays. So – yeah.
All right, let's start with the games. Let's start them. First game of the week was the Cowboys. Oh, wait, we got to name the tiers this year because this is an annual tradition. We know what they are. So first tier is Super Bowl bound.
Super Bowl.
Next is division winner. And then wild card. I guess let's call football hell purgatory this year.
And purgatory works limbo also.
Purgatory. And actually we'll add the 5th tier, the 6th tier throughout the season when it's clear who the trashiest of the trash is. But for right now, we'll just do straight trash. Straight trash.
Yeah.
Straight trash.
Straight trash.
Straight
hardcore trash.
Trash. All right. Our first game is Cowboys and Buccaneers. Buccaneers pulled a tight game out of their asshole. They left them too much time, but I think the Buccaneers, until proven otherwise, are a Super Bowl contender. Am I wrong or am I?
I mean, it is what I mean. The problem with Tampa Bay was if they didn't turn the ball over, that would have been over long before that final drive.
Yeah.
When Mike Evans has the ball, he's trying to extend for the goal line. Oh, there's a fumble. That's why Dallas was in the game. That's why they were allowed to come back. You can't make those kind of mistakes like that. That'll get you reamed in a high school film room. Like
that'll get Trent Dilfer grabbing. Yeah, Trent Dilfer will put his index finger in his chest.
You have never seen Bruce Arians. He's going to turn into a literal blueberry, and then his head will explode and then regrow. That's what happened.
I mean, let's not forget NFC Championship game. Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in the second half. So, I mean, there is a tendency for them to sometimes lose focus.
They get sloppy.
I think Bruce Arians, he keeps in that like Darth Vader thing around him that he wears on the sideline.
Respirator.
Yeah,
the respirator
or whatever it is. I think he has like some like thing in there that like it's like a loud noise or something that he emits from it, and it starts crushing whoever pissed him off, like their head. Like he's just like, fuck you. All right, the Cowboys, they looked good, man. They looked good with Dak Prescott healthy. Even though they lost, they definitely looked the best out of the NFC East. Like the football team didn't look good against the Chargers. The Eagles won, but they got a gift in a Week 1 matchup against maybe the worst team in the NFL, maybe. And the Cowboys hung in there with the Super Bowl champion, and they had a chance to win. I mean, they were going to talk major smack if their defense could have held up, but they couldn't.
Could you imagine Scooter on Thursday?
Oh my God!
Dear God!
How insufferable!
I mean, dude,
insufferable.
Oh, he would have been like, "Oh, they go Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl."
15-2.
Yo, my gosh, he would have been like, "Doubt me, doubt me."
I'm grown man.
Where are the haters now?
Yeah, that's what Raiders fans are doing right now.
Yeah, that
like the only people more delusional than Cowboys fans are Raiders fans.
Absolutely.
Hey, Raiders fans did get the win, though.
Yeah,
I mean, technically, we have to allow them to talk.
Handing them the game repeatedly.
Yeah, we'll get to that game. The Ravens were banged up, but Bud Pounder 420 celebrating 1 year of being sober and alcohol free. Proud of myself. Oh, I doubt I'll make it another year if I keep watching your content. No, don't watch our content. You just don't watch the Steelers. You'll be fine there. In terms of not drinking. But yes, congratulations. That is something that needs to be celebrated. We need to end the stigma of calling someone, you're an alcoholic, you're a bum, or you're a loser. Like, that is bullshit. Alcoholism is a disease. Yeah. It can ruin people's lives. It has ruined many lives, and being a year sober and alcohol free is something to be celebrated. Especially last night. They were talking about Darren Waller and
Max Crosby.
Yeah, and Max Crosby. Both guys, you just never, you don't stop dealing with alcoholism. It doesn't go away. It's something that these guys are battling their whole life. So hopefully they see it all the way through. And then Jared, Quiet Tech. How about them Blue Jays vibes like the 2019 Nats? Maybe. The Rays are winning that division, though. Easily. All right, now we got the Seahawks and the Colts. Seahawks look good. Colts, nah.
Colts looked pretty bad. They literally had nothing for the Seahawks. Nothing.
I would.
Yeah, two different tiers of football teams there.
The NFC West is very stacked. I would put the Seahawks in the division winner stat. Like, they're probably the best. I mean, just based off of the data that we have, I want to put them right there, but things could change in the next couple of weeks. The 49ers, they beat up on the Lions, but they also let them back in, like
damn near gave it up.
They almost did. I'm just sitting there like, how is this a game?
Right. And then the Rams looked impressive against the Bears, but the Bears are rebuilding. So
they're bad. Matt Nagy is he's going to be dead man walking soon.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest reasons why I've been arguing with a friend of mine who's a diehard Bears fan. I've been arguing with this cat on Twitter for the last month. They should not be in a rush to put Justin Fields in there. I just don't believe in it. They're going to get him hurt.
Yeah. And that's the last thing you want to
ruin him like they did Trubisky.
But everyone knows that he should be in there, right? Everyone knows.
Like, it's good to know that you got a quarterback for next year. When you use your draft picks on an offensive line, or you sign a couple of offensive linemen out of free agency, so that you got a solid foundation for him to start on.
Yep.
I mean, all it takes is a few bad weeks of him getting hit over and over, and then he's got something in his mind that will fuck with him for the rest of his time as the quarterback.
Like David Carr.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert just is like still, I think, shell-shocked from that first
Bro,
couple.
they
years.
put a rookie left guard in for over a vet, and this guy was so bad. His name, I don't want to drop his name. Anybody who watches the Jags will know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
This dude was so bad that they used to literally, the defensive line from other teams would tell me, we're not even game planning to rush your side. We're only game planning to rush him. I was like, I'm not going to do.
I didn't mean to. Oh, that's my talking points. How do they share the screen? How does that? That's not the same. I wanted to ask you something, Uche, while I have you. Okay. So, hold on. So when we talked a couple weeks ago, I asked you if you ever been booed before, right? And you said there was this one game where you were just getting, I think, beat by the Bears, right?
It was. Yeah, I think it was the Bears in Jacksonville. Yeah, we went like 8 3-and-outs in a row.
So statistically, that game was the worst home loss ever for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. You looked it up, you bastard. You bastard.
No, that's what he does. He needs to weaponize it, so he uses it against you.
I'm actually doing a video on every NFL team's worst home loss, and it just happened to be that you were out there for that. So what was that like, just getting the shit kicked out of you in front of your own fans?
I mean, I wasn't.
Or okay, the team itself, right? Like you were holding your own, right? But
yeah, I actually had a good game.
Okay, you had a good game. But what was it like just hearing your own fans be like, boo, boo?
I was like, shit, I can't play quarterback too, y'all. I mean, shoot, I wish. No, I mean, honestly, it's you don't really pay that much attention to it. I mean, you do feel it because when they get to the point where they boo, they're booing pretty hard. They're booing pretty loud. So you can't really ignore it. But I mean, I can't focus on that shit. I mean, I can only do my job. So, for me, it was always a matter of just keep playing, because the last thing you want is for one of these motherfuckers to be able to single you out and be like, you.
Right.
So,
right. I'm sure Blaine heard that all game, right?
Oh, man. I mean, really, man, it's
okay, after a loss like that, what's the locker room like? I guess there's no chatter, right? It's just like, all right, let's just catch
like
up and leave.
low whispers. Let's get the fuck out. Yeah, now there are like, for the starters, we like, yo, we getting the fuck out of here. I'm already in the shower, like, let's get my shit on. Because you got 15 minutes before they let press come in. So shoot, I'm gone in 11.
Right out the door. You don't want to deal with them.
Yeah. You don't want to answer.
Hell
Tell
yeah.
me what it feels like to get beaten down like that.
I got caught
Mr.
one
Uche,
time.
how do you feel to suck?
Hey, I'm telling you, man, I got caught one time like that where a couple of cats had got out quick. So they came in the locker room and they looking around. They don't see no quarterback. They don't see no running backs. Then they looking over on our side of the locker room, and I'm like buttoning up my shirt, like, don't make eye contact. Look up, here this motherfucker come walking all smooth over, got his little recorder in his hand. So Uche, got a minute? Like, fuck.
You're ready, right. You're ready to go to the Gold Club and drown your fears with alcohol and women.
Hell yeah.
I've been there before.
Oh, we've all been
Club
there,
in Jacksonville. Been there. Pretty all right. Not bad. Donovan Gibbs says, what are y'all's thoughts on the upcoming NBA season? And 5, do you think the Knicks will be back in the playoffs? They better. They're rebuilt.
Give it time, they're gonna suck. So
right.
You're gonna be good.
All right, well, let's put the Colts in purgatory. They're just
they're in some issues.
They're very sus. All right, Jaguars and Texans. This was every bit the tank bowl that we thought it was.
It wasn't even a tank bowl. Jacksonville.
It wasn't even a tank bowl. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Mac-
Texans got out to a huge lead with Tyrod Taylor running the offense. It looks like they're
looking
not
like he was Deshaun Watson.
Right. Trevor Lawrence did throw his first NFL touchdown, but are we going to call both of these teams trash already, even though the Texans did what they had to do?
Texans are going to be
AFC
trash
South.
until proven otherwise.
Yes.
But they're top of the division right now.
Okay. They're trash. They're trash. I would venture to say that one of these two teams will have a tier named after them. by
I'd
the
say
time.
Jags tier trash.
Jacksonville for sure.
Jag tier
Honestly,
trash.
Not even Jags tier. I'll call it heart failure because that's what Urban Meyer is going to claim by week 14.
Did you see the Barstool article? They're saying that he's probably better off resigning from Jacksonville and going to taking a USC job.
There's
I mean,
more
that's
rumors about
him
him and the coaches not meshing. So,
do you think
yeah.
Urban can really get people to come to USC? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
he can bribe
I
them.
don't know.
And you know what? That's how he got the people of Florida, Utah, and Ohio State.
What's up,
I
Darian?
mean, look, Ohio State already had that top. They already had that those kind of recruits. I think Florida, the same thing. They had those recruits. They had the ability to get those recruits. Utah, different. Yeah.
I think it's harder to recruit West Coast teams too, on the West Coast because they're not getting as much pub. Like they're not getting those primetime games, and there is an East Coast bias when it comes to scouting, media, and if your games are happening when most of the country's in bed, like it's not a good thing if you're a player. You want to go to the SEC where their games are always in prime time.
Well, if there was one team that got that kind of love, it was USC. So
when they were good, when they had Reggie Bush.
When they were good. When they had Reggie
How come
Bush
he's not in the Heisman commercials? I don't know why he's not in the Heisman.
Well, he probably lives in a house on the sideline. So if they oversee a house, maybe it's Reggie Bush's house. And
is Manziel out there with him? Like just him and Reggie Bush are like,
no, Manziel is like with a cash of money, like, I can't hear you. I got a lot of cash in my fucking head.
And then who else do we have here? Oh, Vulgar Knight 297. I'm calling it now. Jacksonville Jaguars, first team in NFL history to go 0-17. It's not that bad. I don't think there will be a winless 0-17 team.
If that shit happens, Urban Meyer might die on the field.
Yeah, Urban Meyer will just fake it.
He's going to be run out of Jacksonville.
Right. If they start 0-6 or something, he'll just wheel himself into a wheelchair. And just wheel himself up the ambulance and just put in his own IV in. He'll be like, I'm out of here. Fuck all y'all.
Like, well, fuck y'all bitches.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
All right. Next game. The Chargers and the Washington football team. So Ryan Fitzpatrick dies, basically.
He's out indefinitely.
Yeah.
So you've got Taylor Heineke.
I thought they said 10 weeks.
It said, it could be like 6 to 8.
I don't think he's going to get his job back.
But it's a hip issue. So
he slipped in the shower and he fell and he broke his hip. And it's awful because Ryan Fitzpatrick is a national treasure.
He's a hero.
It's
and
terrible.
Now we must deal with Taylor Heineke.
Yeah. So Taylor Heineke will make his, I don't know what, third NFL start against the Giants.
Third because he played once in Carolina.
Yeah. And the
what do we think about Cam Newton ending up there?
I mean, it's possible there is that connection.
What do we do with Washington though? They look.
I say purgatory now. I mean, with the quarterback situation,
they hung with the Chargers though. But their quarterback situation, which cost them the game, went from bad to worse. So I don't know.
I almost had them.
I think they'll probably beat the Giants though. We'll see.
That's going to come
down. The Giants look very bad. We'll get to that game. What do we do with the Chargers though? Like they put up 20 on a team that has a very good defense. Chase Young
call it an elite defense.
Yeah, and they still hung on, got the game over with. I mean, it wasn't doubtful at times. Herbert is making throws that only a few quarterbacks can make.
He made some hellfire throws.
Yeah.
Man, I like him. I like the kid. I like him.
Yeah, the AFC West, are they the class?
Apparently stats mean nothing.
Are they the class of the AFC West right now? I don't know.
Kansas City still is.
Not quite.
So then let's put them
Let's
put them at wild card then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think wild card's
prediction is kind of coming true there. One of the few to put stock in the Chargers.
I mean, I had them making the wild card, so.
Official Dr. Lycan. Of course, the last dance begins in a total disaster. He's talking about the Packers' last dance, and most of my fellow Packers fans are still optimistic when I roll my eyes at them yet again. As Tom
they got smacked.
Right. As Tom Grossi has said many times, it's week one. It's week one.
It is week 1, but you can.
But it's our job to overreact.
Yes. Nobody remembers Tampa losing to the Saints 38
they got
to 3.
crushed.
Yeah, no one's talking about, man, when they're holding that Super Bowl trophy, they're just like, man, that week 2 loss was just so devastating. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. All right.
Did people talk about week 1 when they beat the Colts last year in Jacksonville? Come on, that was their.
They were like, "Oh, we
win.
might can get it." They win. They got hyped in Jacksonville off that win. They really thought we was gonna do something.
Yeah, they did something all right.
They did a lot of
that first pick.
Yep. Daniel Shell, sucks my Patriots lose to the Dolphins, but the future known as Mac Jones is great. At least my team didn't get destroyed by a human bakery. R.I.P. Norm. Jameis looked good, baby. Saints are Saints.
Real deal. They might be real deal.
Jameis upside, man. I mean, he could be elite if you limit the turnovers, and when you limit the turnovers, you realize he can sky the goddamn ball.
He's 5 ahead right now.
That clip of him saying, it's like my personal trainer said. What did he say? He said,
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't even remember. He said, always be prepared. And that's what I've been doing. I'm just being prepared. Like, Jameis.
Dude, if it's because of the LASIK eye surgery, I'm going to laugh hysterically.
Jameis to me, and I tweeted this. I've said this many times, that I've never seen someone with a football IQ in the 200s. Like, he understands coverages. Like, he knows football. Like, he knows. I mean, typically, when he throws interceptions, like, it's because he's trying to force the ball. But it's not like he didn't know that was a bad throw, right? But his life IQ is like in the 50s. Like, I wonder.
I'm gonna take these crabs from this grocery store.
Right. I'm gonna grab my Uber driver's titties or something.
Right in the pussy.
Right.
Right in the middle of a college cafeteria.
Yep. Or I'm gonna steal these crab legs. Like all this Jameis stuff. Like it just makes you wonder and hope that he has a good team around him. Mm-hmm.
In the post-game press conference, he actually remembered the quote.
Oh,
he said his trainer said, "Pressure is for the unprepared."
That's what I'm saying. You smoke a little bit and you just forget. I couldn't remember one of my friends from college's name. Yeah, the other day because I just got back from Denver. Hey yo, legal.
You had your
Liddy out there, huh?
You got to talk about the high school game, man.
Yeah,
you got to talk about how you were a big deal.
Not really. I did get recognized when the first night we went out, but it was funny. It wasn't the fact that I got recognized that was funny. It was the kid. The kid came up. He was one of the servers there. He goes, "Oh my gosh, are you 5 Points Vids?" And he points at Brandon. He's like, "And you're that other YouTuber."
Hey, you're the Broncos guy.
Yeah, you're Zach Galifianakis.
Yes. So not only do I get recognized in Brandon's hometown, where he's a huge Broncos honk, right? Like he should get recognized everywhere, right? But I get recognized, and the other guy doesn't even he knows he's a YouTuber, but he doesn't know his name. I was like, yes, thank you.
You are recognized as a YouTuber in Vegas, and it was the weirdest shit ever. I was like, really?
What?
You shouldn't know I'm here. Yeah, I was in Vegas, and I'm literally walking to the tables, and I'm like in my zone, like, man, I gotta win this money back.
Yeah,
and I'm walking by, and this kid just goes, "You're Uchi, the observant lineman. I watch your YouTube channel." And I turn like, "Who the fuck said that?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hey, good to meet you." That's weird.
It's always somewhat awkward at first, but then
it is what it is, though. Yeah. So it's like I still get startled by it too. So it happens.
Yeah, it was out of nowhere, kind of.
You're that fat, salty fuck that rags on the Steelers.
Not even the Steelers.
Every piece of shit. All right, Eagles, Falcons. Eagles, I'm not sold on them because the Falcons are trizzle.
They are hardcore trash. Anybody can beat it now. Let's be
damn. Falcons is really bad.
They made Jalen Hurts look all pro out there. Oh my god.
They made everyone look all pro from the Eagles.
Now, I was a little pissed because Devonta Smith is going to be a stud, and the Giants wanted him,
Yep, and
where
then
they
the
picked
Eagles
from.
leapfrogged him, and that's
And
why
the Eagles-
you have an extra first-round pick,
and that's
the
why-
Bears have Fields.
A team that spent $80 million on offensive players only put up 7 points. I'm referring to the Giants. But I really can't gauge the Eagles. I guess we can put them in purgatory because
I still say trash for now, but I mean it's only because it's the
I don't think they're
Falcons.
trash. I don't think they're trash.
Oh, they hardcore trash to me.
Nah,
but-
let them beat themselves into the trash tier. Let them earn the trash tier. They're not a playoff team, but I guess that week one is kind of a null. Like they handled business against Atlanta, which they should have, but I'm not going to call them trash. No, not yet. Ooch, what do you think?
Eagles. I mean, I think it's hard to call. I mean, last year they were borderline trash to me, but this year, I mean,
Every
opening week they get a win. I feel like if you get a win in opening week, you can't be trash right then and there. That's
Exactly.
where I made the argument for Houston, but just because they got the win, you can't.
True.
They got the win.
You ate the W.
They're actually at the top of the division. So with the Eagles, I think purgatory is a solid spot for them right now.
Okay, purgatory. Ryan Gav 248. As a Jags fan myself, what are the chances Urban Meyer finished the season? Very low.
No.
Not fired, but pulling a Petrino and bailing halfway through the season.
That's as I said, heart issues by week 14. Just watch.
I wonder if there are odds on that in Vegas. There might
There
be.
probably
there
are.
has to be.
They probably are.
They'll take action on him tripping on the sideline. They'll be like, all right. I'm sure there's a line on him having a heart attack during the game somewhere. Some fucking
Not even a heart attack, dude. It's not going to be a heart attack. It's going to fake
over
it.
under week 10.
Dude,
It's like, oh, look, that USC job came up. Well, bye.
Ooch, if we ever
Thanks
go
for
to
the money,
Vegas,
cons.
Ooch, if we ever go to Vegas, we should do a prop bet night where we just bet only prop bets. Like just
Hell, I'm with
ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
What
and
color
I'll probably
Gatorade?
lose all my money.
Right. Just bullshit type bets. Just completely random shit. And the Skeptical
We'll do
Taco,
it.
high donation for the night so
Week
far.
5.
Nah.
Man, that's bold.
Hey guys, love your stuff. I wanted to ask, I have both Rodgers and Stafford on my fantasy team. Who should I start? I want to prove that my first ever fantasy win wasn't a fluke. And I have some sort of idea of what I'm doing. I think Aaron Rodgers, I think lifetime is 6-0 in games after a loss, like a blowout
Let's take a
loss.
look who they're playing in week 2. Because
Man,
I
I
mean,
put Matthew Stafford out there. Fuck it.
Yeah, Rams
the
are playing Indianapolis. Green Bay is up against Detroit. Okay, that might be Rodgers.
Yeah, you got to go with Rodgers. Green Bay just, or the Lions.
He gets a nice
gave
bounce
up-
back off Detroit every year. Every year, that's a good game.
Oh, Detroit gets a bounce back off every single team because it's Detroit.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could have the pickup team that we played as in Dallas, and somehow we would beat Detroit because that's how the life works.
Yeah.
And I suck.
Good old Detroit. And Red Rhino says 49 says that Raiders game was the ultimate choke bowl. That was a hard.
That was
game to
that
watch
was
at
like
the end.
it felt scripted, but it felt so surreal at the same time. It's like, what the hell am I
They
watching?
can't
Like,
find their kicker.
I was so angry over like that final drive because it's just like 2 plays. It's like, dude, what the fuck? This isn't the big.
Yeah, and
12.
then-
like, do something. You're in a covered. Like, you're rushing 3. You think you'd be able to cover guys fully instead of give them like 15-yard gains and whatever.
Much like Oakland got done against the Jets the year before. Baltimore decides, well, we're in overtime. We're going to run a zero blitz and expect the quarterback won't pick it up. Won't
You know what
see
that was?
we're running a zero
You know
blitz.
what that was? That was like faking accidentally putting in a field goal or a punt block and then audibling out of it and having the wrong
Audibling
personnel
out and just
behind.
running a quick
That's what
dump
that
off.
was. Either that or a rage quit. It's just like, fuck it, I'm done with this game. Just win.
We'll get to him before he throws it.
Exactly.
The thing with the zero blitz that I've noticed too is that they make it so obvious that they're about to zero blitz. That's
No safeties anywhere.
Right. Like, yeah, if I'm a quarterback and I see no safety in the middle of the field, I'm probably just because of the alignment, I'm probably taking that shot deep, right? Like, how fast can the safety backpedal to cover that throw? And that's the thing; they're not disguising these zero blitz. When we get to the Giants game, I'll talk about that. Like they were blitzing every down and not getting any pressure. How do you do that? All right, Steelers and the Bills.
Steelers
going to Super Bowl.
Buffalo played like fucking shit. They imploded. Like, dear God. Like,
under their own hype.
Here's my thinking. 4th and 1 at the Steeler 40. Whose idea was it to run an RPO, fake a quarterback sneak, and then flip it to a guy 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage? Who's falling for that?
So he has to run 12 yards to get to the line of scrimmage.
Even if Cam Sutton bit, there were a couple other guys. They wouldn't have reached the first down marker. What the hell are you doing?
That game.
Making football more complicated than it is.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. They're making it too cute. And the Steelers, I mean, as like bearish as I am on the offensive side of the ball, their pass rush looked really goddamn good. And also, they played a simple game. They said, look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If we're going to win on defense and special teams. Like the offense is going to have to be carried. But Buffalo outcoached themselves, I feel like.
It seemed to me that was like the most undeserving lead that they got out to. I was just like, how are the Steelers winning this game? Like,
I think we all were.
And then kept checking in on it. Like, how are they like? How are they
the
doing
comeback?
But then the conclusion was at the end of the game that the Steelers played good defense, and that's what you need. And they're probably going to get out to and that touchdown pass was absurd. The one where
Deontay
Johnson, where he tipped it up to himself basically, and then got both them feet in at the same time. Like, that was incredible. So I guess, what do you do? I guess, do you put the Steelers in division tier for now?
I mean, I still feel Cleveland is the class. So I say wild card for now, but give it a few more weeks. I may be considering division.
All right, you're the Steelers fan. You saw that game.
I'm not an optimist per se. Like, this strikes me so much as 2020. It's not even funny. Like, the really good defense and like the key plays at random moments carrying a really predictable offense. That's what that felt like to me.
Hit that 11-0 chat.
Hey, maybe if we go, you know, we're probably going to go 13-0 and then somehow implode. Just watch it like that. Watch it like that. And then I have a stream in January where I flip the fuck out and everyone pretends it's high art.
The Bills are still a wild card team for sure. They had a bad game.
I said division, but
they need to get their shit out. Well, actually, let's put them out at division, even though they lost.
I mean, it's
the Patriots. I just don't see the Dolphins being better than the Bills when they struggled with the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just that's tough though. Division game right on the opening tip. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Scheduling. All right. Let's read a couple supers.
Oh yeah, I'll take care of them. Where are we at right now?
Billy Carter.
Skeptical. Billy Carter. Hold on, it's it. Did it again to me. Stupid. Come on. Pull the AFC South and NFC East trash.
Yeah, we'll get to those.
Jerry Mejias for 5. Phillies playoff hopes will fly away faster than the SR-71 Blackbird after an ass whooping from San Fran on Sunday. Not if they blow the lead in the fourth quarter. The Rammers line for 2,500 Costa Rican Cologne. Happy Independence Day to all my Central American people. 200 years of independent life from September 15th, 1821 to September 15th, 2021. Que viva.
Yeah, Costa Rica is interesting. They actually don't even have an army. Like, they don't have like
a self-defense force like Japan?
Kind of. They kind of know that if something happened, like, America would just kind of roll in. So
Truman Doctrine, right?
Yeah. So they just kind of like, oh, well, we don't need to spend money on the army because we're right next to Panama and no one's going to let Panama get took, so we're just going to.
Panama doesn't have the value that it had, like, say, 50 years ago.
Now they're owned by China. Like, China owns the canal, basically. Anyways, we could talk about geopolitics all day, buddy. Mr. Yes, press F for Turd Ferguson, and he also says you will be missed, Norm. Yeah, I'm still upset about that.
It sucks. He's very underrated.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That one's
Just
rough.
brings
That dude,
you-
his voice is recognizable anywhere too.
Right. My favorite joke is the moth joke, where he's just like, it's just
The longest punchline, but it's a good punchline.
Oh yeah.
None of it makes sense whatsoever in context.
Yeah. I love Norm Macdonald. He's just he was a great one for sure. All right, next game. Legend. And he also, the thing I love about him was he just never gave a fuck. He was just like, I'm gonna tell the joke.
Good. That's how it should be. That's what comedy is.
49ers and the Lions. The 49ers looked like they were cruising to an ass whipping, tried to give the game away at the end. The Lions couldn't come through with it. They fucked up. I mean, dude, you fall down by 3 or 4 scores. Like that's
you should figure out.
You can't blame yourself when you lose in the last minute. That's why you build a lead in the NFL. It's so that you have that it becomes insurmountable, which is a word that the Falcons thought that they had in Super Bowl 51. It's the problem I have is like, was that a good test for San Francisco? We all thought that Detroit was kind of going to be trash. Jared Goff had moments of good, moments of bad, kind of his whole career, right? And I just don't know if I don't think San Francisco is better than the Cardinals.
I still say so, but you know what it probably was? It was Dan Campbell biting off some kneecaps. That's what led them to come back.
And do we
He had his team do up downs in the locker room.
Not even up downs, like burpees, suicides,
Yeah,
suicides in the
Judge.
locker room.
Suicides in the locker room at halftime, bastards.
What do we do with them? What do we put them in the?
I say wild card.
Yeah, I think
All right.
wild card.
All right, wild card. And the Lions, are they
Lions be
trash?
They'd be trash
They'd
until
be-
otherwise said. Yeah, I
And they
mean,
also
Green Bay
just
will be
lost-
very telling.
Right, and they just lost Jeff
Smelly
Okuda.
trash.
Thank you, AA, for that. Yeah, they just lost Okuda with an Achilles injury, the career killer, which is
I mean, Okuda was he wasn't doing good to begin with. He was just like he was more known for getting yelled at on the sidelines by his position coach.
Do your job. Do
but-
your job.
I would think that Okuda, just the level of talent and measurables that he's been blessed with, would get it together. But now it sucks because he's going to lose maybe a year and a half of development, and that's a terrible injury to lose. You can't walk for 9 months, right? Just period.
Achilles.
Yeah.
So
The only worse is Liz Frank.
yeah, Liz Frank. I don't want to meet her.
Etienne has that.
Mm-hmm.
Some girl's like, "Hi, I'm Liz," and you're like, "What's your last name?" And she's like, "Frank." You're like, "Get the fuck away."
PTSD.
Get away from
PTSD.
Yeah. Golden hybrid for my birthday. My dad, sister, and I are finally making the 5-hour drive to Heinz Field for the first time to watch Steelers play the Broncos. Oh, maybe Brandon Perna should fly out there and watch that game with you. By the way, Brandon and his wife, just amazingly gracious hosts. Like, they were awesome. Like, I kept trying to pay for stuff, and they're like, you're a guest in my house. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You don't have to pay for my shit.
That's how it always goes, no matter what. I mean, they
I was
want
like,
to put
stop.
the exude of authority.
But I did sneak, so I was able to make them my Thai ribs that I make for a lot of people. So I was able to buy those and cook those for them, and they liked them. So it was good. Thai short ribs. Charlie Hins, the Mets really had to blow that lead as soon as I got home with a flat tire. Hashtag fuck my life. The Mets spent themselves to take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, and they're getting the shit kicked out of them.
They're very low Mets. It's getting bad.
Yeah,
So it might have to be meet the Mets in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's September 14th, and the Mets are not in a playoff position.
They're not even 500.
It's another thing.
It's another successful meeting.
Successful meeting. All right, next we have the Vikings and the Bengals. The Vikings, I'm just gonna go and put them in straight trash.
Look, you can't say they're trash. They got screwed over by a fumble. Every Vikings fan saying it. It's the fumble. The fumble
That's the
hurt us.
50th fumble over the last 50 years.
Yeah, guess what, fuckers? You shouldn't have even been in that situation to begin with. All the penalties early on, getting burned in coverages on wide receiver, Pat Pete, and Mike Hughes getting fooled by Jamar Chase. Like, you played like shit. You deserve to lose.
Right.
Don't give me anything about the fumble. You fucking sucked. That's it.
They lost to a team that won how many games last year? Like 4. The Bengals were bad last year. Bad.
The Bengals were very bad.
Burrow looked good. Looked good. He found his
receivers. I really hope.
Let's do this. Next one is easy. Jets are
trash. They mega trash, and then people bitch. It's like, oh, you need to get better material. It's like, how about the Jets change, and then I can get better material,
and then we can give them a new name.
Right. You know why it's called Lol Jets? Because it's the same fucking thing, no matter who's there and what they do.
Right.
Their whole team is fucking injured again. They lost Mekhi Becton. They lost LaMarcus Joyner. They lost Blake Cashman. So they
haven't had shit since Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Literally.
Losing Becton is painful, and he got carted off, so he's probably going to miss
like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
and like that was the play that Zach Wilson scored his first touchdown on. So they can't win.
It's like, give them back the touchdown and let us keep the player.
Yeah. that was bad. So, and a lot of people, they say, oh, the Jets made an effort. It was 19-4. It was 16-0 at one point. Like it was really ugly. Christian McCaffrey had a big run. I just think, the Jets, Zach Wilson is going to be fine. He's going to get this team moving in the right direction. But until they, like you said, if you want to talk about, get new material, the Jets need a new act. And that act needs to be not sucking and not losing against teams that they should beat. They should beat the Panthers if they're ready to be here.
That's easier said than done.
They kind of got a gift matchup to prove that they were different, and you blew it. The Panthers,
and there was a little bit of a personal touch to it as well, and they still couldn't get it done.
I'm gonna put the Panthers in purgatory. They're not straight trash. They won a game, but they only beat a terrible team by 5 points.
Give it time.
A terrible team by 5.
Hold on, did you get the Bengals?
What do we do with the Bengals?
I say purgatory for now, but I am ready to throw them in straight trash with things change.
Oh yeah, one bad loss and they're in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mr. Yes says, who will win Thursday, Giants or football team? I'm not optimistic about the Giants.
We'll see. I mean, hey, if Danny Derps is gonna pull one out and then he fumbles 3 times to cost them the win,
that's just a leopard cannot change its spots type thing right there. Like, Perna and I are watching the game in his basement, right? And he goes, "We need a fumble right here," and I was like, "Please do not fumble." I mean, he literally called it. He was like, "Watch Daniel Jones fumble right here," and then I'm watching the stream and I'm like, I thought the move to take off to run was smart, and I was like, "Why aren't you sliding?" And then the next thing you know, the ball was out. Like I was just like,
"Why aren't you sliding?"
You'll see it if you go watch the stream. I'm like, "Don't take that contact." It was
Don't remember you're a quarterback.
Now here's the thing, though. Lamar Jackson did it twice last night, by the way, fumbled. And if Lamar Jackson was the quarterback of the New York Giants, he would be getting equal shit. But you just can't do that if you're the quarterback, right? Like you have the privilege of sliding, and so it costs you 1 or 2 yards.
Being protected.
Right. You have to protect yourself before you wreck yourself. And then, I think the football team will win. Jared Froman, the 49ers almost suffered the biggest in-game collapse since 28-3. On top of that, they lost Raheem Mostert for the season. Yeah, he elected.
Not even, 24-0.
Yeah.
Chiefs,
he elected to go for the surgery.
That dude has the same injury that I had on my knee that I had to get surgery on. Torn cartilage.
Oh. Does it still is it still affected to this day? The knee?
Hell yeah. And I got stem cells put in I didn't even do, because normally what they do is they give you that microfracture surgery, which will pretty much put a red flag next to your name for the rest of your career. Now, they didn't do that with mine because they had at the time, and I guess it was experimental at the time, but they had stem cells. So I did, Jags just sent me up to Dr. Andrews and said, load that shit up with stem cells. And then I just, I was on crutches for a month. And then it took probably really, if I'm being honest, I didn't start feeling really, really strong in that leg and confident with it until about halfway through the season. And I had got the surgery done in February. So it was a solid 8 months.
Damn. I have a bone bruise on my foot right now, and it's hard to work out. I couldn't imagine trying to fight another 300-pound man when you're not 100%.
No, dude,
I'm wincing. I'm such a little bitch. I'm wincing when I do a lunge. I'm I would cry if some 300-pound man just hit me and was get the fuck out of my way. And I'm just I'm not at 100%. It's not fair. All right, and then Jerry Mejia says the Giants Washington football team game is going to come down to the wire. Yeah, because the story is going to be that can the Giants defend can the Washington football team move the ball? It's one of those two, because the Giants.
I think Heineke can kind of move the ball.
Right. Well, it's all going to come down to when Washington has the ball, because the Giants are going to struggle to score against the Washington football defense. That's a given. But the only unknown is whether Washington can score against the Giants team that dials up blitzes on every single down, but only got one sack.
Hey, what's the word on Saquon?
5 rushes, 25 yards. That he wasn't. I mean,
they're going to limit his carries, though.
I was impressed that they gave him the ball as much. They're hey, look, if he's healthy, you got to use him, right? You got to wonder, and an ACL tear should not
walk him back into it,
right? Shouldn't affect your explosiveness if that knee is healthy.
It's not the same as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
right?
15 years ago, ACL, before they started having all these new technologies where they use cadavers and synthetic. It would be almost career enders for running backs, but he should be it's only a matter of psychological confidence now. He has to get confident mentally that he can run on it full strength.
Yeah.
And cut on it full strength.
And I think they're getting him there, but he's not the Saquon where you can hand the ball and 4 blocks break down and he still takes it to the house. That Saquon is kind of gone. And
how unbelievable of a waste of his talent would it be if he never amounted to be anything other than a supremely talented player that just never took off.
I don't know.
That is the most disappointing thing for me as a football to see a football player go through that is oh my God, that's on the franchise.
Kind of reminds me of Andrew Luck, but a running back.
Or the Giants had this guy, David Wilson, who was really talented, and he had a neck injury and never played again. And he was good. He's this guy that did the backflip after he scored and stuff. And I hope to God that Saquon doesn't go by the way of David Wilson. All right, Cardinals and Titans. Not surprised that the Cardinals won because they're supposed to be good-ish. But I was surprised at how they won.
Dude, the Titans got destroyed.
They knocked the teeth out the Titans' mouth, straight up.
Yeah.
5 sacks. Taylor Lewan getting run over by a fucking DB. That says it all for the game right there.
The Titans were the Titans were in the movie The Program, when they all lay down on the road, right? And then a truck with truck nuts on it drove over them and hit all in the face with their truck nuts. It was just truck nuts the whole way, because that's
everybody's nose bleeding.
Yeah, the Titans got teabagged by the Cardinals, just complete nuts in the face all game. I don't know what you do with the Titans, but they're not trash. We obviously think that they're going to be good unless they've been figured out.
I still say division for now, but
they're about as.
You're going to take a team that lost by 25 points and still put them in the division.
Look at their division, though, man.
That's true.
Is it going to be tank division? Because the Colts They looked really bad. The Jags are one of the worst teams in football, and the Texans are, well, the Texans.
Yeah, you're right.
Are the division leaders. They're the only one in the division with a win, and it's a divisional opponent win, so it's even more important.
A team gets truck nutted, and they're still in the division category, and a team wins and is trash. Okay.
Well, they should still be trash.
Yeah.
Trash for how they're treating Deshaun Watson.
Are we going to put the Cardinals at wild card? Because
I still say purgatory for now, but wild card I can see an argument for.
What? Chandler Jones? Defense?
5 sacks.
Offense?
I mean,
okay, put him in the wild card.
Kyler Murray escapability? Come on now. There was all types of things happening in that game.
If I can do my argument, the Cardinals' biggest issue has never been talent; it's been consistency. Because there have been a lot of times where they look really good like this, but play like
that's
shit.
true. They pulled that miracle
That's what cost
game
them last year.
Yeah, they pulled that miracle game against the Bills last year,
and they lost a lot of other games.
Yeah, they lost horribly the next week. I remember that.
Teams that aren't as good as they are.
Mr. Yes says, I would say that Cleveland would beat the Texans if OBJ wasn't injured. Then again, they almost beat KC without OBJ. Then again, it's the Texans. Where is OBJ? Is he just...
He's in Cleveland.
Yeah, but is he not... Was he out
there? He's playing.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he's come back from injury, so they're probably using him in.
I'm only hearing about Jarvis Landry out there. Alex Moreno, sing it with me, guys. Hotel, motel, fire, Matt Nagy. Hotel, motel, fire, Matt Nagy. Hotel, motel. Yep, we got it. Also, Lamar Jackson can't throw. Lamar.
He can throw. The problem is he's the only weapon they have. He has no line, and his defense is garbage.
He's got no running game either, right?
Well, all of their running backs are torn ACLs or old fogies.
Right. Even I'm surprised Le'Veon couldn't even get out. Was Le'Veon?
Not even Le'Veon. It's Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray scored a touchdown. I saw that.
Well, the problem is Bell and Freeman don't have a training camp. They got to get back up to speed.
Yeah. It's rough there. Lamar, like that game was a testament to John Harbaugh's coaching that they should have got beat down by the Raiders. Like the Raiders should have been all over.
The Ravens should have won that easily because they were up 14.
Yeah, the Ravens had the lead late and they gave Derek Carr too much time.
All they had to do was get a first down. They got chicken shit and decided to play not to lose. And that's what cost them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, guys, I'll be honest. In watching that game, was such a loose moving game for both offenses. They were putting up points so quick. They were moving up and down the field with ease. I mean, I didn't expect Baltimore's defense to be that paper thin.
No, not at all.
They were just giving it up, and I was like, okay, so this is going to be a high scorer. Well, initially you're thinking this might be a blowout. And then it's like, no, this is going to be a high score because now, instead of just forcing the ball to Darren Waller, they threw it to a couple other guys and then forced it to Darren Waller.
Dude.
And that
worked.
Carr
so was just feeling Darren Waller, man. He was just like,
he targeted him 19 times.
They must have had
he only caught 10 of them.
Some incentive clause in his contract.
And he's on my fantasy teams too. So I was like, hell yeah, keep throwing that shit to him.
Nice. Let's go UW. Bills win the award for most arrogant play calling in week 1 for refusing to run the ball. But thankfully, Pittsburgh won't be seeing any 50-plus passing attempts this year. Hopefully.
No, they'll be seeing it from themselves. The Steelers were very one-dimensional. And like Najee Harris really couldn't get anything going except when things were starting to unravel and he was able to push off some gains. So that's another concern. But once again, week 1, so whatever.
Yep. Jerry Mejias, the Falcons defense made Jalen Hurts look like Donovan McNabb.
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
So he threw the ball at all the receivers' feet? Okay, only Philly fans will know that reference.
I used to see them play every week when I was living in Dallas. So I know what you're talking about.
McNabb used to throw it right at the feet. He'd be like, "All right,"
he did,
and that would piss the fan. They'd be like, "Fuck."
They hate Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb is the devil in Philly. Yeah, Andy Reid would be too if he hadn't redeemed himself and won a Super Bowl.
We're getting into the good games here. Brownsies and the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Browns are going to win the division still.
I'd say
they should have won that game.
The problem is like Jamie Gillian can't handle a punt, and the defense couldn't keep up with the Chiefs' offense. Like my brother and I were texting. My brother had said, if the Browns can hold the Chiefs to under 30 points, they're going to win. They couldn't hold them to under 30 points.
Yep. It was close, but
you have to assert yourselves, and
I just can't understand how these cats go up so big like they do and nobody in the locker room at halftime tells them, hey, we're not winning. We're going against these Chiefs. We need to score 2 touchdowns this quarter coming out the half.
Dude, it's not about the team.
I think they do that, though. I think they're just like foot on the gas,
but
guys.
The play calling goes total nuts up at that point, though.
Yeah. They try to drip clock. Like there's so many strategies, right? When you have a lead against the Chiefs, like you have a choice, right? Do we bleed the clock or do we stay aggressive? And all it takes
bleed
is
the clock while being aggressive. Like you use the entire 40 seconds, but you keep your normal game strategy. You go after them.
Yeah,
I think teams get they make too much of a science out of it. You attack the middle of the defense and then you attack the back of the defense.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, they've been living this way for 3 years now, and no one
they know how to live that way.
Yeah, they know how to live that way.
They know how to live that way.
Get away with it.
All right, do we put the Chiefs in the Super Bowl tier?
I still say so for now.
Yeah, they're still Super Bowl tier.
Super Bowl. All right, let's talk Dolphins Patriots. Let's just move on, and then we'll get.
I said the Dolphins were going to win. I said they were
both
going to win.
In purgatory.
You're going to put them both in purgatory for ugly
Dolphins and wild card, man. Dolphins and wild card.
Man, I'm not buying the Dolphins.
I'm bullish on the Dolphins. I'm sorry. I like what they're building there. I think Tua's going to be the thing that either makes them or breaks them. So I still say wild card. Patriots are purgatory.
I'm the tiebreaker, and I'm going to put them in purgatory. Fuck you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Talk to the Patriots. Yeah, you like my middle finger pose? Yeah, I don't do this. I can't do it like that. My hands can't move like that, but whatever. I don't give a shit.
This will never feel natural to me. I'm always going to bird it like this.
Suck my nuts.
Suck my truck nuts. Alex Moreno, Seahawks look like frauds. Still, they gave up 251 yards and 2 TDs to Wentz and 23 rushing yards. That's not what I would call a good defense. They stopped the rush.
23 yards rushing is pretty good run D.
Yeah. Jeremy, he has 5. I'm being honest, as an Eagles fan, we're trash. San Fran is exposing us this Sunday. Lot of pessimistic fans these days.
Oh, there's going to be a lot. Like, dude, Buffalo is panicking right now.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I mean, it's week 1. They'll get their shit together, but
it's week
that's
1.
The kind of loss
you booty hole's going to get super tight.
Booty holes.
Every drop pass. Run it again.
Remember, the Giants.
Bench Josh Allen.
The Giants in 2008 started 0-2 and won the Super Bowl. So, like, don't always panic.
Slid into the playoffs too.
Yeah. They barely. Yeah, they won. Well, yeah, they.
Or that was 07. They barely slid in.
Yeah, because they nearly ran Eli out of town.
Mm-hmm. Toonlink Main says NFC North equals tank division. Likely, maybe.
We'll see.
Who knows?
NFC North? No. It could be AFC South.
AFC South for sure. Andrew Meyer, as a 49ers fan, very happy to see Trey throw a TD on his first pass. I just hope that they keep him out of the regular lineup until he's ready. Well, I mean, Jimmy G will have a lot to say about that, and he's clearly going to keep his job right now. If he's going to beat teams that need to get beat, but losing Mostert hurt. And then Alex will say, "Time to celebrate for USC. Thank you, Lord." They fired Clay Helton. And also, song of the week is "My Own Summer" by Deftones. Mostert is still made of glass. 2019 was a fluke for him. No, he's like, I'm not gonna quit.
That's a Boilermaker there you talking about.
Yeah, I used to hate on people for not being durable, and then one time I got up funny from my chair and my back hurt, and I was like, I get it now.
I'm weak.
I was like, I will never make fun of someone for getting hurt again when another man steps on him. Like, I can barely get out of this chair. Okay. All right. That's what happens when you get older. You get wiser, right? That's what you trade
already
for.
know,
That's
man.
what you trade your youth for is knowledge. All right, Broncos, Giants. I gotta say
Broncos and who?
the Broncos are a purgatory. I'm not going to put them in wild card until they beat an actual team. The Giants are trash.
They very trash. They so trash that the landfill is smelling of so much shit.
They allowed
sulfur and shit.
So all the things that were problems last year are still problems this year. The defense cannot get off the field when they need to. They allowed 3 fourth down conversions. That was a problem last year. Like, what are you doing on fourth down that doesn't allow you to get off the field? Like, you should be able to come up with those stops on fourth down. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that is something that
either that or the offense.
What are you doing on defense that makes the offense feel confident enough to go for it on fourth down 3 times in a game?
Especially Vic Fangio, one of the most conservative play callers last year. And these weren't like 4th and inches. These one was 4th and 5.
4th and 4.
Another was 4th and 4. And another one was like 4. Like, these were mid-tier downs, like not gimmies at all. And they just 2 plays they had Bridgewater dead to rights, and instead of trying to tackle him or go low or put their hands up to keep him from throwing, Bridgewater stiff-armed them. Like, I'm like, all right, you're making Teddy Bridge.
That was a nice move too.
Yeah, it was, but like, it's Teddy Bridgewater. Like, he's got a surgically repaired leg. You got to make him earn that.
Looking like he never tore that ACL. Looking like he never blew his shit completely out.
I'll give Bridgewater credit. Don't get me wrong.
He had a very efficient game.
Yeah, he's efficient. He's a guy that's not going to make mistakes. But you, as the Giants, here's what they did that was criminal, right? They hung around. They were up 7-3. They let the Broncos come down, score a touchdown before half. Then the Broncos got the ball at half and scored another touchdown. So they went from 7-3 to down 17-7, and then they couldn't score. And then on a drive where they needed to answer with the touchdown, Daniel Jones fumbles. So all these things that were not addressed that you would think that they would address. Daniel Jones fumbling problem, a defense that had the only pass rush that they develop is off the blitz, and they blitzed every down pretty much and only sacked Bridgewater once. And then the offense couldn't score. They went out and scored. They spent $80 million on Kenny Golladay, on all these offensive players. They drafted nothing but offensive players, and this team only put up 7 or 13 points against. And one of those touchdowns was pure garbage time. So they're trash. They're trash, and
they're very trash.
Getting very done with Dave Gettleman. Like, these are all his. So the only player that I've been excited about that's been drafted is Saquon, who's a shell of himself out there right now. And everyone has gotten on me, right? Saying, Adam or 5, why did you react so poorly when Andrew Thomas was drafted, when Kadarius Toney was drafted, when who else was Daniel Jones? Like, why did you react so poorly? Right?
Well, Jones was a terrible pick.
Yeah, because I'm not confident that Dave Gettleman knows what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. I mean, that just wasn't a good pick at all. Just like wasn't the right quarterback.
Right. When Kwity Paye is available and you take Kadarius Toney, right? And I've said this a million times. I was like, if you can't get Waddle and you can't get Smith, go defense. And they still went for a guy that had 1 catch. Now Sterling Shepard is still good, but he's the last remnant from that 2015 playoff team. And you
got to get rid of everybody from the boat party to get a winning record again. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they need to just move on from there. All right, let's read some more supers because we're going to be here all night.
We'll be here all night.
Rant all night. Rangav 248. R.I.P. Norm McDonald. His sports show died too soon. Cancer sucks. Yeah, Norm was a big sports guy, which I also loved.
Oh, yeah. So I said he never really got traction, and it was a shame.
Yeah,
like he always got fucked over in mainstream.
Tree, you read from Jared Froman real quick.
Yes, sir. Jared Froman. This Snapchat is like the Ravens secondary, full of holes with constant blown coverage on the deep ball. Or they can't play it. I don't know. It's just that.
Something like that.
I don't know how much of that is like the new rules. People get skittish on actually trying to play defense. And how much is just like the defenses suck. I don't know how much that is.
What's the new rule again about tackling low or something like that?
Well, you can't tackle like in the feet, you can't tackle in the head. If you tackle in the core, apparently, if it's like a quarterback, it's a penalty. I don't know.
Could you imagine trying to play defense in today's NFL? Like the only thing that's legal is like a perfect form tackle, right? Like,
and then it probably
sometimes
penalized.
Sometimes,
Right.
because if any part of your helmet touches even his face mask, flag.
Like, how do you
Especially for
prevent that, right? Like, I saw a couple hits where the guy starts in his chest, and then because of his momentum, he climbs up the body, and his helmet ends up touching. Like,
See, I think they're trying to show the appearance of caring about head contact, but fact of the matter is, you can't make it. When you're talking about head contact, you're talking about the crown, and forcing your helmet into the sides of the helmet. But as a tackle, as a tackler, this is your weapon. Is your face? Your face is your weapon. That's where you cut guys off with and allow yourself to cross their body. So there's no way to really tackle a guy without using at least your face, which at the end of the day gives you the same kind of damage that helmet would, as far as the brain is concerned. But that's just the fact of football. You can't. There's no way around that. There's really not. And what you are seeing, or what you did see, and I'm not so sure statistically how it plays out now, but there's a lot of knee injuries because guys got to go through the legs because they got no other spots to go,
or they try to avoid. So
and they end up blowing their own shit out.
William Hayes,
like
that's the one that brings.
I'll never
mind,
forget.
Like his career was over after that.
Dustin Keller was the tight end for the Jets. He was my teammate at Purdue. Dude was like on
Very
the verge
good
of being a star tight end.
Talented.
He was on the verge of going into like Pro Bowl level. And in the preseason, which is the first year that they put that emphasis on, helmet to helmet, he catches it. Instead of going to the helmet, the dude said literally in the interview after the game, I went low because I was scared to go high. And he blew out his LCL, PCL, ACL, career done. So, I mean, I don't even care about, like, I honestly would rather just let it be let the sport be what it is, because there's nothing you can do to stop it from being that at the end of the day. And
other
penalizing guys and taking money, and that's not doing shit.
Other than putting the flags around their waist, like, we love the contact. We want the violence. It seems like in rugby, I don't know if anyone's more in tune, but rugby, they don't even wear pads, and it seems like they have less catastrophic injuries.
Well, rugby is not the same as football. There's no point in rugby where they actually have the freedom to launch themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Into the next guy.
Yeah,
that is not even the objective of the game. Football, the objective is to launch yourself to stop a guy from advancing the ball.
Yeah. All right. Where were we? Rob the Vegas man. Saints should play the rest of their home games in Florida. Their last two games have been 38-3 wins. Their D has improved nicely. Yes. Tom K. So Tree is saying the Steelers are the Rex Grossman Bears. Ooh.
No, I don't know if I go that far. They're not who I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
If they were, the offense would be really, really bad. But we'll give it time.
Golden Hybrid $4.99. If you guys could get an interview on stream with Big Ben, what would you ask him?
I wouldn't even do that interview.
Yeah, we would. Why would we get Big Ben on?
And why the fuck would he? Like he's got.
Oh yeah, I'll come on with you 2 shit posters, 3 shit posters. Yeah.
Daniel Shell still want to join the SEC, Texas Longhorns. Yeah, I mean they're gonna try and bully their way through the SEC, and that's not gonna fly there, man.
I'd rather see Purdue in the SEC than the Longhorns.
Kevin Michael Von Magnum, our resident Titans correspondent. I already know which team is absolutely straight trash. Do you want me to talk about it?
We'll get you on late. We'll get everybody else on later at the end. We've got to get through these supers.
Ricky Rod, may the gods place a divine shield on Burrow's leg. I absolutely agree.
Yes. I agree. Protect him at all costs. Since
out missing class. While the New York Giants are trash, the SF Giants are going to the playoffs. Dude, San Francisco is unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
You haven't paying attention to that? Jesus. They don't stop.
Yeah, they're playing good baseball right now. I'm impressed.
I've started to pay more attention to baseball since I've been playing that MLB The Show. I was at a bar. I was at a bar the other night, I think over the weekend, and I was like watching the Braves game. Like, oh, this is okay. See, that's that fucker that I'll play with. He's a starting pitcher. He sucks when I play with him, though. Let's see what he does.
Acuna, that's his name. All right.
Hakuna Matata.
David G, don't worry, 5. Scooter has a coin flip PI to blame instead of a peg leg Greg and fourth quarter Dan, so he'll be just fine. Yeah, he'll be back talking shit too. But
he's gonna do it anyway.
Only 2 losses to go for Scooter. Oh, it's gonna be a great day. SB is here from everyone in the Big Ten. Thank you, Oregon. Yeah, Ohio State lost to Oregon.
Well, as I remember, I was in Columbus the night before and day of, so maybe I was the jinx. And then I went to Cleveland, and the Indians suffered a combined no-hitter.
Yeah. Were you at that game? Did you go to that game?
Mega jinx. We'll call it that.
Oh.
But it was a good time.
Or you were
just a little mini.
You went to Cleveland for tourism? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, it was on the way. We figured we'd go just see an Indians game.
Gotcha.
That's it. And then we left.
Yeah, boy, lettuce Titans don't get blown the fuck out if Luan doesn't take a day off. Yeah. You know, the thing about Taylor Luan that I did like is he owned it afterwards. He
said it on Twitter. It's like, I got my ass kicked.
I mean, what are you going to say? You can't say shit if you're an O-lineman. If you say one thing as an excuse, they're going to be like, shut the fuck up. You're lying. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But most people don't say, most of the linemen don't say anything. They just go back to work. But Luan, because he's so active on social media, was like, I got my ass handed. He did say, thank you for exposing me, which I thought was an interesting line to call yourself.
So he already knew he had an Achilles heel.
Yeah. Achilles heel. Jerry Mejias, the Colts are still better than the Titans. Wentz still put up good stats against the Sea Chickens that game. I was surprised Wentz played, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, him and Quentin Nelson played.
Yep. All right, we're at the Grossi raid portion of the stream. Hopefully Grossi comes in and raids us. I think he's doing
like Madden streams, right?
He's doing a Madden or a ranking stream, whatever. Fuck you, Tommy.
He's doing a Madden stream?
Packers Madden streams like once a week.
Terrible ass shit
and the
game.
Saints. I already talked to him yesterday, actually, in the morning. I talked to him. The Saints kicked their ass. We got to do something with the Saints, because if the Saints are going to go out and just fuck the Packers up and Jameis is going to look like that, I get that it's week 1. I understand that it's week 1. Are they a division winner? Are they a wild card team? This is a team that nobody really picked even to make the playoffs. And
I had them a wild card. I'm going to stick with them.
I like him at wild card.
Okay.
I got to see more for them to go up.
Okay. Now, the Packers, we're still going to put a division because it's a tank division. Like, it's an absolute tank division.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
But they're not in the Super Bowl tier. No, sir.
No. That loss by itself kills any shot of that for the first half of the season.
Yeah, unless they get their shit together.
Unless they get a big roll together, a couple of nice, decisive wins.
Yeah. The time to get it together is late, right? You don't want to have your shit together in week 1 and watch it evaporate. You kind of want to be a little bit of you don't want to be a mess all season.
You want to be at 500 or above by week 8.
Yes.
You want to be either 4-4 or 5-3 or 6-2. Like that's the sweet spot by week 8, because once you get to week 9, shit starts getting serious.
Yeah.
Now all your divisional games start coming in, and you start playing a divisional game every 2 weeks.
Right. When's the last time a 14-2 or even a 15-1 team has, gone like winning? Yeah, it's hard to learn when you win, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard to learn when you win. Jared Froman, Detroit lose 2 out of 3 to a garbage Pirates team. Also, Detroit Tigers win 2 out of 3 against the white hot Rays squad that has now lost 4 out of 5. Yeah, the Rays are going to the
Rays have no starting pitching. That's the problem.
Well, they're
rolling with Michael Waka, Shane McClanahan, Luis Patino, and I forget who else.
Michael Waka.
Yeah, Waka.
They're going to the playoffs. They use the opener, Tree. They'll just put 4 relievers out there.
You need premium starting pitching to go anywhere in the playoffs. Yeah, they have the balance and the hitting, but pitching is going to be the question mark, especially if they got to face, say, Toronto is white hot right now. And if Toronto ends up winning the wild card and going on, they might be getting smacked by them or Chicago.
Yeah, that's one thing I did learn about baseball is that when you're in the postseason, them starting pitchers need to be on their shit.
Yeah, in the postseason though, it becomes it's more of a random, like like the good teams, like just getting to the postseason. There's some teams that steamroll their way through it, like the Dodgers a couple years ago, just because they were so much better than everyone else. But man, the postseason can be a real crapshoot in baseball.
In a way, I mean, you have 5 and 7 games. It's a little harder. The wild card's a crapshoot. I hate the wild card. They should get rid of it.
One pitcher can get hot though in baseball. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you saw the Marlins do that. You saw who else carried? Kurt Schilling carried the Red Sox.
Mad Bum in 2015.
Yeah. Randy Johnson. Yeah. Jerry Mejias, I think the NFC East is tank division again. Possibly.
We'll see. There's plenty of time to work this out.
Mm-hmm. And then also Jerry says Howie Roseman and Dave Gettleman competing for worst GM in the NFC. Well, at least the Eagles won their first game. Okay. And Bulletproof Glass, I don't want to be a Falcons fan anymore. Ever since 2015, it's been straight to hell. Yeah.
Dude, keep going. It's been since the beginning of your time frame.
Hey, I said it when it happened. 10 years. That's how long it's going to take.
Well, you got to get rid of everybody and bring them back. They still have pieces.
It might even be 20.
Cincy, you got to wipe the slate from GM to damn near the owner. Owner might need to sell the team.
I don't think Arthur Blank's a bad owner, though. Like
he's too conservative.
Yeah, he believes too much in his team.
He's too loyal. He treats it too much like it's Home Depot. You can't.
Yeah. He definitely runs it like it's Home Depot, and Home Depot is a successful business because of that. But it's different in football. Like football, you got to cut people's throats.
You got to, you got to be cutthroat.
Right. That's why Jerry Jones is so good at it. All right, let's go to Bears and Rams. The Rams looked very good. PA. The Bears did not.
Yeah.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
We can hear
you. Okay. So obviously, I was picking the Bears to lose this one. I didn't think we were going to make it as much of a game as even what we did. The defense, people have to get used to the idea that the defense as we know it is not going to be world-shattering as we've been used to in years past. Hicks is aging. Goldman has had injury issues after he sat out all last year. Khalil Mack is just one man. Eddie Jackson really didn't look good, and some of the other secondary pieces have me concerned, to say the least. The offense, Dalton looks serviceable. We didn't stretch the field vertically. We ran the ball really good. 108 yards on 16 carries for Montgomery. So I was very happy with that. Left tackle is apparently a black hole, and
you lost the lineman for the season too.
Well, I don't know which lineman we lost.
Wait. That was the Raiders. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna need you to put them in a tier.
Put them in purgatory.
Yeah, I'd say purgatory. I agree with that.
Bears are in purgatory, even if we go to start Justin Fields this year.
Like my question is
because
I don't know why they're using Justin Fields as like a gadget, like trinket. You can't do that with rookie quarterbacks.
I don't much care.
I mean, we did it with
either.
Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco, and it didn't work.
I don't much care for that either. But obviously, it's like some manner of way to get him some game experience.
Just let him sit and learn the playbook. That's the way I do it. At least.
Starfin now.
Yeah, let him sit.
Yeah, he needs to sit.
Absorb.
He needs to watch Dalton go out there and get axe murdered.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But Dalton, but the thing is, Dalton can still help him, even in that role, even if he's out there getting murdered.
The Bears are going to rush him, and it's probably going to be Trubisky. That's why I'm not a big Fields fan. It was probably the worst place he could have gone because the Bears are ass backwards with how they run their organization.
Desperate.
Yeah, the desperation stench is hard in Chicago.
Yeah, the stench.
But I will say
this: first-round pick, they want him now. They don't want to.
Well, yeah, the meatheads want the shiny new toy. And Mr. 5 Points, I believe we have a tradition that you're not upholding.
What's that?
you've put a certain team at division winner. They're a little too high on your list. We got to bring them down just a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Because you know that sneaky, slimy, cheese-headed bastard is going to peek his head in here and say, "Oh, he likes the Packers! Oh, he likes the Packers!" Oh.
What's he doing? Is he going to be a separate level? You should just blend it in with the rest of the trash.
Crikey, we see the bald man making a move.
Here, we'll
Were
put
you
him
about
in.
to draw a type dick behind
What is
that?
going on? Grassy level. Grassy trash. There we go. Tom,
There
you
we
can come
go.
and defend your team if you want.
That
You
whole
don't give a
tradition.
shit. Tom
All right.
don't care.
Yeah,
Now
Tom's
we got to
too
do
busy
something
playing
with the
his game.
Rams now. So we got to place
Hey.
the Rams.
I
We'll
say
have-
wild card. Wild card.
No, Treat. Bad. No.
We already have the Seahawks in division.
How are they winning the division? They just gave up a ton of yards to Carson Wentz, man.
Listen,
No, they
I'll say
dominated the Colts and their elite defense.
I will say
We just-
this. Do not bet against Matt Stafford this year. That dude is on a
that
mission.
boy is on
First
a mission.
pass
He look
play
good.
is a touchdown.
He has a real
Boom.
team.
He's free from Detroit.
He said, "This is all I've been waiting for my whole career. This is all I've been waiting
First
for. A
pass
chance
play.
to play with a
First
fucking
pass
good
play.
team."
All right,
First pass
I'll
play.
let Alex place him. You place him.
Okay, put the Seahawks in wild card. At least put them in division winner. Come on.
That's homerism, dude.
Fair
Come
enough.
on.
I'll
I-
let you homer it.
I'm not gonna say Super Bowl because that's too arrogant, and I know that's.
I
that's
mean,
stupid.
division is a little bit arrogant. They ain't been able to
Division is
snatch it out of the
very
Seahawks' hands
But
yet.
I'm just saying, I'm not betting against Matthew Stafford this year.
I'm sorry,
I know the
but
wildfire
3
smoke has been
touchdowns.
thick in Southern California, but you've been huffing it real hard down there. I mean, I'm concerned for your mental well-being at this
3
point.
touchdowns.
Dude,
His
you guys are
first
so
play.
arrogant, you would think Gavin Newsom was running the Rams.
No.
No,
That's
if you want arrogance, that would be Gray Davis.
Oh, Gray
Yeah,
Davis
that
had
too.
rolling blackouts.
No, nobody says arrogance like the Bay Area. They love the smell of their own farts too much.
Oh, that's San Fran in general.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
That's
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 one of my
why they
favorites.
overrate your
Right
team.
into it, though.
Raheem
All right.
Mostert is.
Let me
still
run through
qualified.
these supers real quick. Golden Hybrid. Tom is doing a Q&A stream with Kurt Benkert. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
he's getting the big stuff now.
Oh,
Like, he's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
he's getting the
It's not like
Packers
we don't-
access.
we have ex-NFL players on. Uh-huh.
Well, he's got a current NFL player on. That's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah,
so now
yeah.
he's probably gonna like.
he's trying to
not gonna-
one-up
he's
us.
not- He's not going to be able to answer like the deep questions because he still wants that network contact. You know, he interviewed the president of the Packers,
Well,
he's hot shit now.
Well, we might get.
Then he moves to
Chaos
Milwaukee and becomes king. And
I
burns it
mean,
all.
I can get a
Yeah,
Hall of
well, you know
Famer in
what?
this motherfucker if we need to turn it up.
Who we got?
Hot-
Who you gonna get?
Hot shit only scored
Megatron?
3 points against
Oh.
the New England or the New Orleans Saints. So
If we get
Megatron, the
Calvin
homie, I can
Johnson,
get the Keo in this mug. I can get.
I would love to ask Cal if it was like a private conversation. I'd be like, "What is with the Detroit Lions? Like, why do you hate them like so much?"
trash.
And then
He was just gonna say they trash.
Honestly,
They're
I
And then
wouldn't blame them either.
that would be such an acceptable answer. I would just be like, "Good, okay." I
Guys,
got what I wanted.
someone posted in the chat. Why don't the Lions trade in the Ford for a Chevy because they keep breaking down year after year?
Ah, uh-huh.
Yeah, I have.
Toon League Maine. My Rams did great on Sunday night. Hashtag LA2 Rams or Lotto Rams. Jerry Mejias, Cowboys would have drafted Fields if they didn't re-sign Dak. That's possible.
They were going for Surtain.
No, they
What's-
wanted, but then they ended up with what's his name?
Well,
What's
Michael
wrong
Parsons.
with Dak?
Yeah,
Well, they wanted Parsons and then they wanted Devontae Smith, but they got one out.
dude, they look good.
What's
Hold on,
wrong
let
with
me
Dak though? Like,
Let me add Dodge in. Hey, what's up, Dodge?
Hello.
Surprise entry.
Dodge,
And then the
what up?
last super chat of the
Ouch.
night is Evtar816. Matthew looked actually happy to play again. He looked like a kid on Christmas. Yeah, I keep messing up. It's Matthew Stafford, everyone, not Matt Stafford.
I'm still gonna say Matt. Everyone
He's
calls
free
him
from Detroit. That's
Hey,
all
what the
that
fuck? Your
matters.
name is Matt.
Yeah, Stathu Padford is his name.
Hey, Stat
Stathu-
Padford was his Detroit name. Now that narrative's going to be challenged, and if it's true or not, we'll see.
All right,
we'll
last
see what
game.
happens when he plays a team with a real secondary.
Last game.
Oh.
Let's call it. And Jerry's Mejias tries to get one in. Eagles Lions game is still going to be a tank bowl. Yeah, it could be. All right. What do we do with the
No,
Ravens
wrong.
and the Raiders? These are two false prophets here.
I'd say Raiders are still purgatory. Their fan base is fucking delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having delusions.
That's the only
of
reason
grandeur
why I
right
didn't
now.
want them to win. Like, I
Carr
don't have any
played-
rooting interest for the Raiders, but everyone's going to think they're really good, even though
No.
the Ravens played.
Did
like,
you
absolute
Carr
shit.
that first half was abysmal. That
I like
The
Derek
Raiders-
Carr. I
Me
think
too.
he's the only reason the Raiders are any good.
me too.
Yeah, he
That
is
first
forcing
half.
them to be better than they are.
Yeah,
But I'll tell
and
you
I-
this about the Raiders. This is a fan base that would follow the Crypt Keeper, a.k.a. Al Davis, into the grave and out of the grave because they still believe he owns the franchise.
Dude, they would go to Jonestown if there was black and silver all over.
Well, his evil spawn, Slimer, aka Mark Davis, is running the team.
No, he's just
What the
Lloyd
fuck is up
Christmas
with
from
his
Dumb and
haircut?
Dumber. He's Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. Just
Dude,
running
did
the
you see him?
franchise.
He was high-fiving Charles Woodson, and Brian Reeves was in the owner's suite. So,
Oh.
all right, I think they're both purgatory. I think we
I'm
put the
surprised
Ravens
they-
in there on
My
account of
question is
injury.
this. Do they have a P.F. Chang's in every concourse?
Yeah, they should. Hey,
Like
wait.
a Chick-fil-A and everyone, they have a P.F. Chang's on.
Are you
each
kidding
one.
me? There's
Cheesesteak
a
factory too.
There's a
Do you guys
PF
know something
Chang's
funny?
in
The
the owner's
Falcons'
suite
sole
in Vegas.
food provider
Good.
is Chick-fil-A. But funny enough, what do they do if they play games on Sundays, though? Like, you can't eat any of the food there.
Well, look at Atlanta. They just force them open because God cares about the football. It says
True.
on the seventh day God rested, except for football. You fucking play
Ask the state of Texas. The biggest religion in the state of Texas is football.
football.
Megatron
Friday night.
Brewers.
That's
All right,
true.
guys. We have made it to the end of the show, everyone. Ooch, you got anything coming up on your channel? Anything?
Well, I got the tier maker tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, I'm gonna jump on some NBA 2K22. I
Nice.
started playing that, and that thing is nice. So that'll be live probably on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So, bada bing.
Nice. Bada
Wait,
bing, bada
friends,
boom.
I have an
Tree-
announced. Sorry, go ahead. Wait,
yeah,
let him go ahead.
Go ahead.
Alex, you go first.
Okay. Friends, I am actually one of my, that cartoon video I told you that hit 1 million, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've decided to make a challenge for charity so the world can know that I'm not doing this for greed. But if I can get 20 more subs, I will actually donate a good chunk of the revenue from that, somewhere probably in the 3 digits, probably 200, to the ASPCA because I love dogs. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Put
I don't
your
want to plug my
channel- Put your channel in the description in the
I
chat.
shall.
Yeah,
Now
put it in the
you're
chat.
Hey, you want
Thank you.
20
Get us-
subs? Just go to Subway and buy 20.
I see what
There
he
you
did
go.
there.
I live in
So,
California. We get
I'm
the
hoping
coupon for that
they're,
every month.
I
There
have
may be something coming
969.
tomorrow that
I have
involves
969 right now.
NFL
Nice.
Nice.
and
Nice.
Hey,
something else with them.
We got Tom Grossi in the chat, boys.
yeah, here we go.
There you go.
Yes, son of
How do
a-
you feel about losing to a team without a city?
All right, y'all trash.
Now you
and
know how
Kurt
the
Van
Huns
Kurt.
feel.
Go fuck off. That's right, Tom. You're
5
late.
points. It was a good thing I was in here to help catch that for you.
Yes, thank you. All right, Dodge, are you doing an afterburn?
I will be doing it tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, and also, my birthday is next week, so I definitely want to talk to you gentlemen at the conclusion of the show.
Definitely.
And, boop for everybody there.
All right. And all right, Ooch, I'll be with you tomorrow night. I'm working on every NFL team's worst home loss, and Ooch provided some insight into what
Very
it's
nice.
like to lose in the worst fashion possible. Y'all didn't even know that was like the worst loss ever at home.
You
right?
know
Y'all
what?
were just
I
like-
kind of had a feeling, bro, because that game was bad. That game was on a whole different
Which-
level of bad.
I know you
Like,
said it was a Bears game. What year was this?
that would have been
2011?
2012. 2011. Yeah,
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah,
threw,
that,
like,
that was
three
that was
picks.
Mike Mularkey. That was Mike
So
Mularkey.
that had to have been about the last of the good Cutler years.
Peanut Tillman
Mhm.
and the other corner both had pick sixes by
Peanut Punch, and that would be Tim
Lance
Jennings.
Briggs. Lance Briggs had a
Briggs
pick
is our
six.
linebacker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking piss poor game.
Yeah, that was ugly.
That's the when people talk about the Bears defense and gloss lacks fucking poetical over it. That's what we're talking about. Our defense scores more than the offense does. The offense is just there to hold the ball long enough for the defense to go get some water.
You're welcome for the Lovie Smith years. You have no idea how much we tormented in St. Louis after that.
Yeah,
Well,
all the
Lovey's-
complaining y'all did when y'all had that awesome defense with Lovey over there, and now look at you.
Couldn't get an offense to save our ass at all.
All right, everyone. Love y'all for coming. Thanks, mods, for putting in that work. Fuck Tom Grassi for
always fuck Tom Grassi. We'll give him shit on Thursday.
all that shit. I'm
Subscribe
5 points.
to Save the Dogs.
Yep, you made it. Thanks, Ooch, for appearing again. And
Yes,
everyone,
sir.
Peanut Gallery, love.